Don't mind waiting on you, Lord. How many of you feel like that? Don't mind waiting. Don't mind. You all know the song by now. Don't mind waiting on you, Lord. See, some of y'all still waiting on God. You don't mind waiting. Do you mind waiting on Him? He might not come when you want him, but he's always on time. On your love, don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting. Don't mind waiting. On your love, don't mind waiting. On your love. Well, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we should rejoice. Time frame in well after the time you really needed them. But how many know that when God shows up, he shows up on time? And not only does he show up on time, he knows how to rectify every situation in our life. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, all you need is God. Tell your neighbor, all you need is God. So you've been trying everything else, but you just need to insert God in those areas of your life. Amen? All right, listen, I'm not going to be here long. I'm excited about what God is doing in this hour. I want to start a series dealing with our financial stability. And so today I want to talk about financial stability. And I don't want to create no marital problems for none of you all, but I do want to talk about it. And some of y'all don't know what I just said. But anyway, we want to talk about financial stability. Amen? Y'all going to go with me just for a little while? And you say, well, Pastor, I'm pretty good. Well, you can be better. Tell your neighbor, there's always room for improvement. Look at your other neighbors. Just because they look at you right, say, there's always room for improvement. All right, in the book of Deuteronomy, hallelujah, amen, glory to God. Yeah, I'm going to try not to get too excited because I'm back at home, y'all. We're going to hear that song. The 8th chapter and the 18th verse. Just that one verse of scripture that I want to look at. If you don't have your electronic devices, they put it on the screen so you can see it there. But if you're ready, here we go. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is whom? He that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy father, as it is this day. Father, we thank you for the hearing and reading of your word. God, we give your name the praise. We understand that, God, your word governs our life if we submit ourselves to it. We give you permission to do it now. In Jesus' name, amen. You may have to sit in the presence of the Lord. I want to talk about, amen, financial stability. Of course, somebody might say, why is that necessary? Why should we talk about it? Why do I need to be stable financially? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever applied for something you couldn't get? Have you ever gone to trying to obtain, just a small amount of credit, not even much? You thought, I'm only asking for $500. Look like they would get that to me with no problem at all. And really, the reason why you can't get it because you have been unstable financially. Can I deal with this? Yes, sir. And the problem is, it's not because you didn't have the money or haven't had the money, it's that you have not been disciplined with what God has put in your hand. And a lot of times, the reason why we find ourselves in the predicaments that we find ourselves in, I know some of y'all came to church, thought I'm going to preach about hell, fire, brimstone, all that kind of stuff, but that's not where I am today. I will next Sunday. I'm just kidding. But the reason why we find ourselves in these situations is because we have not been disciplined. Somebody shout discipline. The word discipline comes from the word being disciplined, or being discipled, being structured, being, if you will, accountable. And the problem most of us that we're not accountable to anybody with our finances. Husband and wife, they're not accountable to each other when they should be. I'm going to say this again. It's the hardest thing in the world for a woman to check her credit card and say, here, honey, here's my credit card, and here's the bill. I think I've been doing pretty good, but what you think? Let me look this way. I mean, one of the hardest your money is my money is our money. But the truth of the matter is, every dime that comes in the door belongs to us as a couple, as a family. It comes to the door. If you're a single person, man, you're in the best place of your life right now. And so don't mess up and marry somebody who don't understand financial security. Because they'll spend every dime you done saved the first week after you got married. Because they're going to need a new vacuum cleaner, new draperies, going to need new pots and pans, they're going to need a new, they're not missed out anything. They're going to need everything brand new the first week after you get married, not to mention that glamorous wedding you have. Now you got to pay for that, and now you got to pay for new furniture, and am I messing up yet? So if you're single, you're in a good place, all right? So work on this stability. The worst place you can be is be unstable. You're going to get somebody and bring them into your world unstable. Then now both of y'all unstable. And you're going to be frustrated because you're going to be trying to fix her and she'll look at you like, why you not fixed? Anyway, Moses is talking to a whole generation of people who have gone through a transition. They have gone through transition. They had 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. And I said, Lord, why are you using this text of scripture? They're wandering in the wilderness. They're wandering, trying to determine what direction they need to go in. They have a leader who said, keep following God and keep following the glory cloud. And whatever God said do, then do that. You with me? When they got to a place where they didn't have food, they looked to God, and God gave them quail and manna. Y'all remember the story? While they were traveling in this transitional period, God was supplying their every need. There ought to be something in there you should remember. If God supplied your need while you was in your wilderness, when you didn't know where you were going, he ought to supply your needs now when you think you know where you're going. Let me say that again. I know before we had no clue where we were going. We were just kind of throwing stuff out there to see what stays, what sticks, what works. And now that you found a place of stability, where you a direction, where you think you know where you're going, why is it when we get to this place that we abandon our God vision, our God direction? Why do we lose focus that if God had me in the wilderness, he ought to have me now in a place of stability? One of the worst things in the world, see, I don't know about you, I didn't grow up in a family who taught us financial security, who taught us to hold on to your money and don't spend every dime you get. I didn't grow up in that family. Maybe y'all did. Y'all good if you did. But I didn't grow up like that. I grew up every man was for himself. And if I had a few dollars left over, I could spend it on whatever I wanted to. Nobody that at one time say, well, I'll take that back. My grandmother did. I just wasn't listening. Isn't it amazing? Am I making sense here? Yes, sir. My grandmother used to tell me to say, save $5 a week. Now, I was about 13 or 14 years old. And she said, save $5 a week. And I thought, how ludicrous is that? What is $5? Now, you know, my wife always says, you always tell how old you are. But anyway, I'm old enough now, wish I'd have saved at least that $5 a week. Could you imagine where I would be if I had only saved the $5 a week from the time I was 13 up until now? Some of y'all wish you saved $5 from last week so you could have gas today. Okay, here we go. So we have to deal with this, and we have to realize where we are. And if you're going to have some stability, one of the first things you need to do is realize that you haven't come this far by yourself. Yes, sir. All right? Well, then you got here because God has been with you. He has made ways for you, even if you can't see it. So Moses is talking to a group of people who have come through the wilderness and saw their parents die out. He's talking to a whole new generation. Only 2 persons of the older generation survived the transition. Y'all with me here? Moses, of course, is here, but he is Joshua and Caleb, who the only other adults who survived this transition. Everybody else is new breed, new kids on the block. Y'all with me? And so these new kids, they seen their parents die in the wilderness. I mean, you saw your dad, your mom leave you, and now you're like, who do I trust? So Moses is standing here now, and saying, God has promised your family, even though your family didn't do right, he gave you a promise, and he's a God that will keep his promise if you do what you're supposed to do. Moses giving, am I making sense here? Moses is giving them directions here, saying, I know you really don't know the God like I know him, but can you remember when you were hungry, he fed you? Can you remember when you were thirsty and didn't see water anywhere? He directed you to a rock and brought water out of a rock. Can you remember this? I mean, who in the world in that right mind going to approach a rock and say, I need water? I mean, it becomes a God thing to say that I'm going to trust God for the impossibilities to become possible. Now, everybody else looking at your dreams and your aspirations and all that and saying it never happened, it never worked. But I've got vision from God, I've got directive from God, and if God says speak to a rock, I'm speaking to the rock. Rock, I'm thirsty, give me more water. Now you can call me crazy, but I'm drinking. You can call me crazy, but I'm hydrated. In a desert place, I got hydration. I ain't gonna get no help in here. I can tell I'm talking to the wrong crowd. Maybe I should have stayed in for the 8 o'clock church. All right, so Moses is talking to a whole generation who has no clue as to who God really is. But he says to them that when you get to where you're going, don't forget it is God that's given you the ability to obtain the wealth. Don't think it's your education. Don't think it's your hookup. Don't think it's anything else outside of God. It's God that God's God making the connection. Boy, I wish I had somebody here. Only thing you see is the connection, but you don't see who's behind it. There's a puppeteer behind your movement. I ain't gonna get no help in here. There's something happened behind the scene, even though you can't see it. And so if you understand that, then the part of your financial stability comes from knowing that it's God that's working it for you. You know, if you're praying, you got prayer life, you got a relationship with God, you don't have to worry about some things. I think it's Matthew that says that if you seek ye first the kingdom of Matthew 6:33. He says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. What things are he talking about? I know people think going to church is just about lifting your hand, worshiping God, running around the church, speaking in tongues, doing all that kind of stuff. All that's great. But Pastor, how do I live when I leave church? How do I pay my bills? Anyway, I don't like bills no way. Why do I need bills? Why can't I just get everything on credit and then let God pay it? Man, y'all be living large if you can do that, right? Now I get everything I want, and they say, God got the tab. You know, have you ever sit down at the table and you started eating and doing everything was done? They bring the check to the table and present it to the table, and the server go, and you go. It's the same way when I walk with God. If there's something you need from God, then there's a fake check you need to write. Yeah, you need to write a fake check and say, don't misunderstand. I don't mean, let me come back here, man. I don't mean go somewhere and say, I want this car, and I'm going to write a fake check and see if God catches it before it reaches the bank. That's not what I'm talking about. Don't misunderstand me. Don't go sign up for some home loan and you say, I'm just you got it in closing money, closing costs, you got it in, yeah, I got a fake check here, Jack. Pastor just told me something, write a fake check. I'm writing a fake check. No, that's not what I'm talking about. My fake check I'm talking about is invisible. You can't see it. Okay, so let me just dismiss that right there, okay? Your fake check is this, is that I trusted God to give me what I need when I need it. If they say you can't cross this river because there's no bridge, say I'm crossing the river, and you say, how? God. Now you don't have to know the mechanics. Somebody shout God. You don't have to know how he's going to do it. God. And the Bible talks about a couple of times when Moses got ready to cross over the sea, the Bible says that God parted the sea. Didn't build no bridge. He just hit a wind and set everything in motion. When Joshua and them got ready to cross over to Jordan, and they stepped in the water and things opened up. You have to understand something. You don't know how you're going to do it outside of the fact that I'm trusting God. I'm writing a faith check. And whatever I need God to do, he's going to do it. You know why? Because he promised to do it. And if you're married, you ought to get this in. The Bible says if any two will just touch and agree on anything. You hear what I'm saying? If any two of you would just, am I talking too much? If any two of you just agree, come in agreement. You know what the devil has done with us? He keeps us at odds with each other so we can't agree. Because that's your idea, that's not mine. That's your dream, that's not my dream. That's what you want. I don't know if I want that or not. You know, we're always on that page, but if we ever come to the place and say, this is where we're going, the reason why most times we're not there, because financial stability says that you have to have accountability. Well, accountability says you have to be responsible. Responsible says, what are you trying to do? So if you're trying to do something, how are you trying to do it? That would say, write your vision and make it plain. So they that see it can run with it. If you come home, husband, I got this great idea, and I said, wife, this is what I want to do. She said, well, how are you going to do it? God. Sounds wonderful. Well, how's God going to do that? I don't know. He's God. He'll work it out. Most women will say, yes, sounds good, but can I see where we're going? Can you show it to me in print? Have you thought about this? Have you wrote it out? And then she'll sit there and do your third degree. Now, what's going to happen if this happens? I never forget. I've been married twice. My first wife passed away after we'd been married 17 years. And I remember us going to buy this 4-bedroom house. And we was living in an apartment. We was already paying apartment note. And I came across this deal, man. It was a 4-bedroom house, and me and the realtor, we was on the same page. We could do this. She's working at the bank, I'm working at the bank, man, we could do this. And so I come and say, let's get this house. We can do this. She said, what if I get pregnant? What if one of us lose our job? I mean, hello? No, we're not trying for that house. No, my wife don't want it. Why you tell them I don't want it? Because you didn't. Isn't that, you made the decision that we're not getting the house, but you want me to tell nobody you made the decision? That's a whole different page, y'all. But I looked all these years later. I looked all these years later and thought, man, I could have had another rent house. I mean, you know, because after you look at it, I mean, these houses now, if you get a decent house, you're going to pay $200,000 or better. You buy one $100,000, you better hope it was built some years ago and you got a pretty good deal on it. You buy one today at $100,000, like clink, clink, bam, bam, like a 10 car. You hear everything. I ain't get to Anyway, that's a whole different story too. And so I look at this house now and thought, people are still living in these houses where I was bought this house at. No, you missed it. They're still living in that house. That neighborhood, they're still living in those houses. Yeah, 30-something years, 40 years later, I could have had that house or some other houses. But that was my dream. That was me saying this is what we ought to do. And we couldn't come to the place of agreement. And the reason why I think is because I didn't have a good enough rebuttal. If I say, honey, we pay, I should have just told her, how much we paying for rent right now? Do you worry about if I lose my job with this rent? Do you worry about if you get pregnant, I'm paying an apartment note? That don't even cross your mind. So why is it we go from rental to ownership that's in your mind? That's a trick of the devil. Am I talking pretty good? The enemy wants to come to bring division no matter what that division looks like. And then you say, if God be for me, he's more than the whole world can be against me. Baby, get pregnant. Let's have all the babies we can. Come on here. I believe that I can write a fake check and God gonna make a way for me out of no way. That's what I believe. Don't get pregnant. Breathe on to God. Yeah. And so that's the mindset. So you don't have a mindset that, what if, man, what if the sky fall? What if? Huh? You can always find a reason why not to do something, but how about find a reason why? So why should we become stable? Why is it an essential thing for us to become stable? Why? Come ask you a question. Have God ever given you a dream to say, I want to finance something in the kingdom? You hear somebody preaching, or you hear a word somewhere, you hear about a program that you wish you could just throw some money into to help them be successful with that, but you think, do I sow into them or do I make sure my home is stable? This is not for everybody. This is only for one or two persons. Some of you don't care if you ever finance anything in the kingdom. So this is only for one or two persons. It's not for everybody. That's no throw off. It's just the truth. Anyway, we record anyway, so don't feel some kind of way. And so you say, I want to finance this, but how can I finance something when I don't have any extra? The reason why you don't have any extra is because you have not been a good steward over what God has given you. I'm so tired of hearing young people talk about, I don't believe in tithing, I don't believe in giving to the church, I don't believe in supporting the church, God take care of his church and all of that, but God uses people. That's like saying, I'm not going to plant no seed in the ground, but corn and wheat and cereal are going to show up on my table. Somebody got to plant the seed in order for you to eat. Am I making sense yet? If you're not the farmer, you're trusting the farmer somewhere to do what he's supposed to do so you can have your cornflakes or whatever you like eating in the morning. You know, you might be living in the urban, you don't have nothing but concrete, but you believe somebody somewhere is planting a seed so you can have your frosty flakes. It's true. I promise you, when you go to Kroger's or wherever you go, H-E-B, or wherever you shop at, you go in there, you walk in there, and you go straight to the shelf, looking for whatever it is you're looking for, and you left home saying, every now and then you might go to that shelf and it's not there. You just leave that store and go to another. I mean, your faith says, I'm going to get what I'm looking for, even though I didn't plant one seed, but I believe that somebody's planted a seed somewhere. So let me help you here. When you want to sow into a ministry somewhere, there's somebody praying that God would touch the heart of somebody who would sow into the ministry so that we can do real ministry, help somebody, and somebody somewhere is being stable in their giving. And the first place I want to tell you, I'm going to challenge you, don't listen to the nonsense that's in the social media about don't give to the church because only the church wants your money. Come on, say it. Can I tell you how many people have come this way and said, can you help me pay my light bill? Come on now. Can I tell you how many times we have helped kids with their school supplies? Can I tell you how many times we've helped pay mortgage notes or rent and whatever for people who are going through situations of trouble? Where do you think that money come from? I mean, last time I looked, I didn't see nothing falling down here. Am I making sense yet? So somebody has to be wise, has to be a good steward. Jesus said this about a man he talked about being a good steward. Let me go here right quick. I think that was, where's that sound, man? Y'all help me out here. Where were we at? He's talking about being a steward. I think it's Luke 16th chapter. I think that's what I want to be. Yeah, Luke 16th chapter. First verse 1 and 2. Thank y'all. Man, boy, y'all on it. Don't y'all leave me, okay? We're just getting used to you. That's the other thing. By the time you get used to folks, they pack up and go. Where you going? I found a better church down the street. They got bells and whistles. Anyway, that's the story. And they do something totally different from you. Well, if you saw that, bring it back over here. We'll do it. Like a husband come on and say, I found this wife. She wear her hair a little different from her man. She got some different. So, baby, you like that? I'm gonna put some of them on. How's that? Well, it don't feel quite the same, but girl, I like it. Some things you just have to get used to. Hello, somebody. But anyways, in Luke 16, verses 1. Here we go. I'm coming to that. And he called him. If I can't trust you with my money, then you don't need to hold my money.
Amen.
I really hate dealing with this part. This is very difficult. Because here's a guy in position. He's in position because at one point or another, the person who had the resources saw him as being responsible. And now all of a sudden, the guy who has the resources is getting word that the person you have given your monies to is not being responsible. What do you do when you're at home and the other person in your household is not accountable with the money that comes in the door?
What do you do?
And how do you deal with that, dude? And why? So here we go. The first thing you have to do is bring them into accountability. There's an accountability check. You with me? Don't look at your husband there. There's accountability. Husband and wife, you gotta look this way. Don't be looking at your spouse. I don't want to have a marital counseling session right after church. Doctor trying to give some information here. All right. So if we don't talk about it, that was another thing on Facebook I put out there. People say, why you always talk about this kind of stuff? I'm like, because if you don't address it, it's never gonna go away. Just sweep. When I was growing up, my mom said, clean up the house when she was gone. We used to have these rugs around the house, right? And they said, clean up. Just raise that rug up, sweep it under the rug, lay it back down. Come home and say, all right, let's clean. Didn't I tell you to clean up this house? Well, technically, I did something.
Right.
But if the dirt's still in the house, is the house clean?
No.
It's just under the rug. And that's how some of our finances are. It's not stable, it's just under the rug.
That's good.
And you can't keep sweeping it under the rug because someday you're gonna be up in age. I'm talking to the younger generation right here. Someday you're gonna be so far up in age and you're gonna need somebody, because if you didn't take care of your business while you're young, somebody's gonna take care of you when you're old.
That's right.
Cat food don't taste the same.
Come on.
The cat is enjoying it, but you probably won't enjoy it nearly as much. Y'all laughing now, but I'm serious. You have to do whatever you can to make ends meet when you didn't take care of your business up front. Have I spent too much time on this? Because I said I'm going to talk about this for a minute. So it's going to be like the next time I get on the preach, I'm going to be talking about the same thing, but I'm going to be on a different page. You might like, Pastor, come on now, Pastor. I don't want to talk about finance again this week. And my wife fussed the whole week last week after you got through that sermon on Sunday. Because she didn't want to surrender her credit card. Pastor, but he didn't want to give me his pay stub. You want the credit card, and she wants the pay stub. So So y'all think y'all have problems. See? This is hard, man. Very difficult. Yeah, yeah. So what did you do? How do you handle that? So she said, baby, I need to see the credit. I need to have the credit card and the statement so we see where we are. And when she goes, the reason why she don't want to do that because the next response should be, okay, baby, I see where we are. Let's see how we can get to where we need to be. But the average response goes, like, okay, that's why I didn't tell you. See, I got to explain. I'm telling the truth, right? Come on now. And then when you get your pay stub, you go, here's my pay stub, and she goes, you making all that?
I know, right?
I ain't know you making that much money. Girl, they've been getting you raises since the last time we talked about it. That's what homeboy said. Homeboy, give up your check stub. I'm talking because you don't have a wife. I could have said to him, but I might create a problem.
Don't do it, Pastor.
Yeah, I'm trying my best not to. I'm trying to find middle ground here.
You can look over here.
This is the hardest, Lillian, this is the hardest thing in the world to do. I promise you, baby, I promise you. All right, here we go. So she said, here's my check stub. And she goes, you've been holding out on me. I said, no, let me explain to you what happened. And then you sit down at the table and you discuss all of your debt. I mean, write it down. When my wife and I, Lady Brenda, when we got married, I said, babe, give me all your debt. Give me everything you got. Just bring it to me. Bring it to me. I mean, every credit card, every place you know that you owe somebody. The Bible said, owe no man. That's a very uncomfortable discussion. You believe that? All right. So I said, I'll bring everything. And let's sit down and let's pay them off. They've been out trying to help somebody, okay?
Stay over here, Pastor. Stay over here.
Yeah, okay. I'll say that for brotherhood meeting. I'm waiting till the men get together. We'll talk about it on this level. And y'all go on. So she brings everything that she owed.
Yeah, I did.
Well, allegedly brought everybody she owed.
Not helping, Pastor.
So the first thing in financial stability is accountability.
Oh.
It hurts to be accountable. Am I still making sense? It hurts to be accountable. It hurts to say that I have not been the wisest steward over what God has given me. It's hard. It hurts for me to pull out and say, and you say, oh, how did you get here? I'm not looking at you back. No, look. Y'all got to go home with him. So you're like, how do you get in this situation? That's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear anybody scolding you and rebuking you and reprimanding you because you made some decisions that wasn't favorable long term. Okay, I know I'm in a mess. How do you get out of it? That's what we need to talk about. How do we get out of this mess? Acknowledge the Lord. I mean, another scripture. Acknowledge the Lord in all your ways, and He shall what? Do you believe that?
Yes.
Then trust Him for that. All right? We went to file bankruptcy, and the courts told us that we couldn't pay our tithes. And the reason why I was filing bankruptcy because I started pastoring full time. I left corporate America, and I'm trusting ministry to support my needs. Bad decision. You said it out loud. I wasn't accountable. I needed somebody who was older than me, wiser than me, and say, son, don't make that decision. Stick it out. I know you're hearing from God, but did he tell you when?
Right.
Because sometimes we hear from God, but we didn't get the whole understanding of what God was trying to say. Am I feeling all right here? So to know that God is telling you to do something, know that he's giving you a vision, know that he's giving you direction, but you've also got to understand the timeline in which to do these things that God has said do. I feel like I've been preaching this too long, y'all. And so we went to file bankruptcy, and the first thing the court said, oh yeah, all that little girl, who did that? And we did. Say, oh, y'all need to get an attorney. Not because it wasn't right, because we ain't getting paid. That's pretty much what the problem was. And so we didn't really want to file bankruptcy, but we wanted to have time so we could do something with our house. And so we would put it on short sale, but we would have to need time for it to sell. Right. So in order for it to have time to sell it, we did what we had to do to give us more time. So when he told us we can't do it because you want to give the church that kind of money, well, what is 10% or 15 cents to the ministry when I'm going to go to McDonald's and Burger King and spend a whole lot more?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, y'all say, I don't go to McDonald's. Wherever you go, spend your fast food dime. I promise, fast food restaurants, they don't hardly have too many of those dollar value meals no more. They might still have one or two, but I don't think so. Most of them, when you show up, it's going to cost you about $7 to get a meal. And you go there every day. 5 days a week, $7. Anyway, here we go. And so they tell me I can't give my money to God, and God is the one who supplies my every need. And so we told them, that's okay, we're not filing bankruptcy. Based on that alone. You're not going to tell me I can't tithe. I'm going to tithe and I don't have nothing else. Guess what? We were tithing before then, we were tithing doing then, and guess what? We're still tithing now. Guess what? I haven't missed no meals. I'm just saying. I might need to miss a couple of them. But anyway, I haven't. And our bills are being paid, things are coming into fruition because we trust God. What am I trying to say to you? And all the things, when Moses says to the people, God, he said, don't forget when you get where you're going, don't forget it's God. What Jesus said is know that you're going to be a good steward. Remember that what you have don't really belong to you. Even though you go to work every day, it don't belong to you. Somebody how it belong to us. Especially if you're married. It belong to us. If you're not married yet, but your future wife, it belongs to y'all. So you have to be, I'm looking at Keon's account, you have to be wise with what God's giving you now, because someday you're going to have some lady in your life. I did say lady, Keon, okay? That's for the sake of other people, okay? That works for you. All right, you're going to have some lady in your life who's going to look for you to be a place of stability. You know what women look for? They don't look for love first. Look for security. I can fall in love with you later. Just drop the mic, Pastor. Just drop the mic. You don't believe it? Start getting unstable at home. There's no security. See the love keeper there. I'm sorry, son. I know you're trying to keep me in the frame line. All right, here we go. I got to quit. I know I got too much to say. Next, am I preaching next Sunday? No, I'm not preaching next Sunday. Am I preaching next Sunday? Can I preach next Sunday? Okay, I'm preaching next Sunday. Guess what we're going to talk about? Financial stability. Part two. We're going to deal with this. You know why? I'm going to my grave eventually. And it's going to be a whole new generation come behind me. If God said, take the land, how are you going to buy it? You don't have no money. If all of us broke. That's good. Yeah. You know, I go to the service and they say, well, all the pastors will give at least give $100. No less than $100. I'm like, those are the days, we had another chair. Those are the days you're like, just call me Brother Baker. Cary. Because I don't know what it is. The moment you say pastor, they see dollar signs. And that has not been my experience. My limo was not outside waiting on me. And my jet is not down the street waiting on me to take him to go home. So don't see dollar signs when you see pastor. In fact, I say I'm going to quit. But when I sit down and looked at my shoes, I thought about something else. I remember some years ago when I was pastor, I had holes in my shoes. And some of y'all heard this before. I put cardboard in my shoes so my sock wouldn't be touching the street. And when I came to church, I folded my feet beneath myself. And so people thought I was being real holy and sanctified. I was actually hiding the hole in my shoes. And they look at me now and say, oh man, he got it going on. No, I've been through. And now that I've gone through, don't hate on me now. I paid my dues. That's all I'm trying to say. Let me quit. Y'all stand, let's pray. Because I'll tell you, I still got a whole lot to say. And I'll keep on talking to you like, I'll enjoy Pastor, but man, he sure kept us there a long time today. What happened to them an hour sermon? Only 30 minutes, 15 minutes church. I'm going to church down the street, man. They don't keep you there long. Yeah. But what they teach you, what they saying to you, a whole bunch of hype. God wants you to live your best life now. Yeah, he does. So how do you get there? And how do I get past the life I'm in? Hallelujah. Father, we want to say thank you for who you are, for what you mean in our life. We love you, God. We thank you that you paid the ultimate price for us. We would never be saved if you had not died on the cross called Calvary. We thank you for Calvary. We give you praise now. Maybe somebody under the sound of my voice, Lord, that don't know you, have not called you and claimed you as their Savior and asked you to come into their life. So, Lord, we ask you, Father, that your Spirit would search all things, search our hearts, search our minds right now. And God, if there's a place we need to be in that we're not in, God, do it for us right now. In the name of Jesus. Lord, we don't want to be lost. We don't want to talk about financial security and we don't have eternal security. We don't want to be lost. Lord, I'm praying for every person under the sound of my voice right now. Destroy every yoke. Break every vow. The place of confusion, God, remove it now. Bring stability and clarity in their life right now. In the name of Jesus. Listen, people, while I'm praying, your eyes are closed, your head is bowed while I'm praying. If you're here and you've never accepted Christ as your personal Savior, so I know how to pray for you. Will you just lift your hand in the air and put it back down so I know you're here? So I know how to pray for you, how to take you before the Lord in prayer. You say, I never said, Christ, forgive me of my sin and come in my life. I've never prayed that prayer. That's me, Pastor. Lift your hand so I know you're here. So I know you're here. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. So, Father, we thank you, God, that everybody under the sound of my voice has accepted you as Savior. And they're living for you, God. Now I'm praying for the homes. I'm praying for stability in the finances at home. That, God, when something comes up there and they say, somebody needs to write a check, they hear your spirit, they just write the check and don't even worry about it because they have stability at home. I pray, God, for every dream that they have. Every ambition, God, to establish wealth in the earth. I'm praying for it, God, that it will come to fruition now. This new job that they're seeking, but more than that, this entrepreneurship, God, that's in their hearts. I pray that you begin to bring it to fruition now. Cause wealth to come. Then cause them to be great stewards with what you place in their hands. Give it to you.